video to the owner, or picture. It's idling fine. I don't feel like it's gonna stall on me. Clutch is kind of strong. think it had N1 turbos. I mean, they don't feel like they're putting out much horsepower per se, but not too shabby. Alright, I'm going to try to do an engine start and rev. I put my GoPro here. I don't know if this is gonna pick up. It's only got a wide angle on the 4K, I guess. I don't really like that. Yeah, I'll see if this camera can pick it up while I attempt to do an engine start inside. I mean, nobody's here right now. 7 in the morning. Before I rev it. I mean, there's no intake. I'll explain everything when the engine's off. But there's no engine sound, it's all muffler. Let this warm up a little bit. Alright, I'll try to talk over the sound of the exhaust. RPMs are fine. We did have the video driving it, so I mean, you kind of know its characteristics. It's going to get a new screen. It does have a Haltech computer down there. If the door wants to stay open, hold on. Don't want to hit the ghost. Alright, yeah. Multifunction. I'm just only tapping the exhaust a little bit. You can see the throttle, I mean 15%, and I mean the car torques just sitting here. Navigation works. I guess I can do the AC. Check that. I heard it kick on right away. Something in my face. I mean, it's 10 degrees, so it's not exactly cold and it's not warm by any means. I don't know how fast the heat will take to... Now the engine's finally calmed down. It's got a little bit of gas. Engine's starting to warm up. AC motor kicked on. Alright, yeah, it's blowing hot air. Let me switch it to cold. It blew cold air right away. Good. Turn that off. Hazards. The high beams work. Good. It's starting to stink in here. Alright, all lights are working. got the Nismo R3 turbos, but I mean, without an intake in here, I mean, it's really not so, you know, violent in the engine bay. All right, I don't know what order I'm going to put the videos in, but first I did the engine start. So it's really smelly in here right now, but I'll walk around. The area is a little tight, so I can't get a great overall view of it. I do have a laundry list of what's done to the car. It's a 2000 base grade WV2. It's at the sparkling silver, but it's the dark silver. It looks, I mean, amazing under these lights. It's about 7:30 in the morning, so it's not too bright outside. HKS 2.8 liter step 1 kit. Nismo R3 turbos. I mean, you can't really call a GTR a sleeper, but if this was in, you know, a parking lot with the hood popped, I mean, it really just looks like a GTR lowered with wheels and a muffler. I'll get to that when we pop the engine. I mean, there's Tomei belts, and what else? Bosch 1000cc injectors, Walbro fuel pump, Tomei filter, Nismo clutch. Yeah, I mean, Haltech ECU. Yeah, I mean, it keeps going. The cams are not exactly sure, but it's got the Nismo Heritage block honed and bored. I mean, I don't know what the original owner was thinking and how he went about what he wanted to do with the car. It's overall mild in looks. Let's get down to the details. So we've pretty much determined that everything has been resprayed on the car. I mean, I prefer the carbon lip that the two GTRs over there have, and they have this in a down position, which I think looks terrible. I usually end up, you know, flipping it so it's got the better angle. It looks a lot cooler. I did it on both of those over there. It's kind of actually under this light you can barely even tell. There's actually 3 different shades of silver for the most part, as well as this fender lip there. But I'll start with the front of the car. The bumper is probably the worst on the car. Not exactly sure how this happened, but I mean, the front bumper has just tons of bubbles all the way around it. I mean, this entire thing, it looks like they put bubbles in the paint to paint it. The entire bumper. So there's rock chips. I mean, sorry about that. Like normal, my phone was full. I just had to delete a bunch of stuff. So I don't know where it stopped, but there's pressure cracking on the spoiler, front lip spoiler. And I saw a photo of this car, and it did not have maybe the lower lip, and maybe it had only this piece, but this. All right, let's try it again. Phone having a complete fit. All right, so there's kind of a gray hazing on the bumps continue, but like a gray hazing on the net, and you can actually see the old GTR emblem which was replaced with the newer style or older style, I forget. I had that GTR emblem as well, but the client's gonna get the regular GTR emblem as it's supposed to be. There's scratches in the lip all the way around that have been painted over. Underside of the lip is rashed, which is pretty standard for, I mean, how low the car always is. I mean, you can see the intercooler piping in there. It's kind of a polished intercooler, so it's got a pretty good look to it. Ducting. Alright, and the bonnet has bubbling. Now the car, I didn't mention, the car will be repainted lightning yellow. The bonnet's in good shape. I guess they just, on the prep, there's a little bit of bubbling there. Outside of that, I don't see. So that's the worst of it right there. Rust bubble. I don't have it on this side and up. The headlights are a little, I mean, they're pretty clean, but a little hazy. Just a little right there. All right, on the windshield, just small chips. There's nothing major, no cracking, of course. Fenders, they line up well. The paint is good, but there is, I don't know if you can see it even in my shiny bald head. There's just a tad bit of orange peel going down the side of the car. You can kind of see how smooth the door, the reflection of the GTT is versus here. It's much more hazy. So kind of a tad bit of orange peel in there. On to the other side, this is going to be more in the direct sun. A bit of paint peel there. Outside of that being so bright, I thought this right here lines up kind of bad. Check the other side. Maybe it's standard. This is carbon. Go back. Drops a little bit. It's a kind of raised here. You can see that. I don't know, maybe it's my imagination, but I mean, there's little rock chips in this as well. But you can see clearly the difference in silver right there in that direct sunlight. I mean, it's not even close. I think the bumper is the same. This is still in the shade, so you can't really get a good look at the difference in color there, but in that direct sun, I mean, even from here you can see the difference. But side skirt, more of the same. It has that bubbling in it. I believe the other side is worse than this side. Oh, that was just dirt. If we go to the other side, I noticed yesterday, I believe, but this one's not in the light. I can't see it well. I had seen some of the bubbling in the paint, but that's all right. I mean, going down the door, I mean, the door is completely smooth. There is some chips there, a chip here, there. I mean, from a distance, you can hardly notice it, but the worst is right here. I mean, that's touch-up paint, not done that well. So I don't know if that's a scratch with rust in it. I'm not exactly sure. The trim is overall smooth all the way around. The inside there, it looks good. There's no rust in the drain. I mean, you can see tape off marks. Other than that, the roof, I mean, I don't see sanding marks. It's kind of orange peely, but the reflection is almost perfect. I mean, you can see the orange peel in there. But besides the different silver lip, I mean, I can't take this off to see if it's hiding any damage. I mean, I tried feeling my fingers on the backside. I mean, I don't notice any crumpled metal, or actually, I do kind of feel a bubble, a bend. I'll have to remove the, where was that? Just a little bit. Maybe the wheels or the fender was rolled at some point to have a wider tire. I mean, this tire's kind of sunk in. I'll get to the wheels. Again, a bit of a orange peel, hardly noticeable, but you can see. And then the different silver for the tail light and the quarter. Maybe that's the bubbling I was thinking about on the spats here. Rock chips along there, and it has the same bubbling here. I mean, I can keep going on and on about it. Let's go to the other side. All right, passenger door, same chip here. It's just one. I don't see that came off. This side, I think I saw a scratch here. I couldn't see it with my own eye. Oh yeah, now I see it. This side is a little more rough, maybe, but going down, there's a rock chip there. I think that's just water. You know, no rusting under the mirror. The mirror has no rock chips in it. And these aren't faded like on a lot of GTRs. You can hear this is a lot rougher than here. There's a chip there. That looks all smooth. Quarter. Rock chip. A small scratch. But again, the car will be repainted, hopefully at Garage Yoshida. We'll do the strut replacement. It's not really needed. There's no noticeable corrosion, but if we're gonna do it right. Let's see. So actually here has more plastic. Oh, it was on this side, I guess. I do feel a bulging here. Maybe that's normal for structure, for rigidity. Yeah, other than that, side, same bubbling in the spat. Rear window tinted. I took off the Global Auto sticker because I'm petty. We don't need that around here. Spoiler's in good shape. It had said it had risers on the spoiler, but the list of parts that I have sitting over there, I believe it said it had risers, but that's factory height. That has a Nismo risers on it. That one's factory height. But this trunk, is a replacement. There's no keyhole. I mean, GTRs are pretty notorious for not popping open with the rubber grommets in there. So if you can't pop it open, then how are you going to open the trunk? Luckily it pops open, but I mean, there's a keyhole. I don't think it would shave the keyhole. So also there's a molding body line here, the body line. So the Nissan emblem, this has this weird cover around. The customer hates that, but GTR. And oh, it does have the body line. First I thought it didn't. So this does have the body line, just no keyhole. Also, yesterday I saw, I'm gonna pause it and get a flashlight. All right, so with the flashlight, I see a rust bubble in there. I mean, it's a bright light. It's not like the sun, but you can see right here, that rust bubble in there. So if you take it out, whenever they painted it, they probably just did a bad job with prep. Yeah, that's all I had seen. I mean, there's no rust around the emblems or damage from taking it off. But this must just be like a metal skin on the actual trunk lid. Rear bumper's in good shape. There's a bit of pitting in the paint. It's got a very nice carbon valance on it. It goes all the way around, as well as the nice RSE muffler, which sounds great. I mean, the underbody was, no issues at all. Nice suspension. The muffler's huge. They're nice control arms, so I won't focus on anything like that. Alpine rear camera. Let me get the underbody of the trunk. Now, just to show it opens, push, pull. Now the silver even here is a different shade. So I don't know if they went with a darker silver. Is the sparkling silver, I think the athletic silver is brighter than the sparkling. Bonnet dampers work. So this is like a really light silver. Not the same color of the car. My GTR, I think, was even darker than this because mine was the CAD, the R35 gray. But I mean, it's still aluminum, metal. It's not, FRP by any means. Bonnet dampers are Nissan, or trunk dampers. These look new. Hopefully they stay that way. It's got grommets here to help it pop back open. I saw touch-up paint right here. So maybe there was some surface rust starting. But over on this side, they didn't have that. Well, there is some here. And along the lines here. So in the camera, I can notice the rust more than by my own eyes. I can't really see that with my own eyes, but you can see how brown it is. And that'll all be taken care of. But in this drain, nothing looks rusty. All right, the exterior, let's get to the engine bay. All right, the engine bay, I mean, if you just look at it, there's nothing that says 2.8 liter, bore up, stroked, That's why I said it's kind of like a sleeper. It doesn't have, an intake. Now, at one point, maybe it did, I don't know, it could have, but it's got a radiator, Greddy intercooler, piping, Nismo piping, Samco hoses, A strengthened plate there, which is nice. But outside of that, I mean, there's not like an oil, you know, filter relocated up top, and nothing is screaming, you know, super modified. I don't even see, you know, the Haltech items, I guess. Now, there is a really weird pattern on the struts. I don't know what would cause that. I don't see any concealed rust or damage or Bondo, but you can see the sheen. It's very grainy. So probably at some point they have been repainted. The engine bay's been repainted, which it will get redone regardless. So that's not anything we're worried about. But I mean, I think there's been a layer of paint applied. I mean, these stickers can be replaced. I mean, you'd have to do a pretty fine tape job to cover that. I believe there is a weird sealant here. I mean, that I can't really focus on it, but there's something in there. Outside of that, I mean, I don't see anything hidden. The radiator support looks fine. It looks original. There's no hiding rust in there. The core support looks fine. The lighting is bad, I'm sorry. Just going over quickly what I see. Headlight brackets are good. There is a sealant, it appears here. I don't know if the headlights have ever been cracked open. This one has a little bit more sealant look on it, but the brackets themselves are fine. Driver's side strut. This fender is bent up right here. This strut as well looks painted over, but there's no hiding damage. Tower bar, you know, the cover is good. There's red touch-up paint there. The injectors, everything, you know, looks so factory, so stock. I mean, that might be what he was, you know, intending. But nothing to really point out. You know, there's not a big burn hole here like on mine and other GTRs. The R3, I think they were, turbos are quite hidden in there. So, and they're not too powerful. In the, I mean, I didn't, you know, redline it or 100% throttle it, but I couldn't feel a big turbo spool when I was in the driving video, which I kind of mentioned. But I mean, it's not like they're huge upgrades. All right, Volk Racing CE28s, 10.5 squared. This is the passenger front. One of them was curbed. I'll have to see. I mean, I don't see any chips or discoloration on the front wheel. Rear, made in Japan. There's a little chip there. Side of that. This one is good. There's a scratching here. Driver's side rear. There's curb there. It's got slotted rotors. I thought it said it had upgraded calipers, but they're not. just a Brembo's. And driver's side front. There's rock chips here. I'll have to look for the, I thought I saw a worse curb, another rock chip. But the slotted rotors look good. The pads, I can't really get a good look in this lighting. But, I mean, the wheels overall, I thought the stance on a 10.5 would be much better, but they disappear. They don't poke out at all. But they sink in. I can't get a good, they actually sink in quite a ways to the fender. I can't get a good look, but I mean, the wheel is here. I mean, that's quite a distance in. And the back is a little bit more extreme. Like, I don't know if the rods can be turned to make them stick out, but I mean, it's that far in. I'll just quickly do the interior and then we're pretty much done. Passenger door is in very good shape. I mean, the black interior obviously just looks so much more, gives a more rich feeling than the gray. But there's no kick damage on the door, there's no scratching on the handle. Dash, I don't particularly see any trouble. There is the Haltech wiring in here, ETC just kind of sitting there, and it doesn't close easily. The Haltech is just sitting on the ground in here. I don't know, I didn't even think that was really a thing in Japan as far as tuning a Haltech. I don't know if you need a Haltech specialist, but the black dash, leather. So the seat is in good shape. There's no big, there's a little bit of like sagging here, crushed, but nothing too extreme, and here as well. But you can see the discoloration in all of the holes. I can try to clean that. I don't know what, see there is not, but over here is heavy. I don't know what would cause that, if it's just dirt or if it's wear. If it's just dirt, maybe it'll clean up, but I'm not gonna do anything obviously too extreme because I just don't know. I don't wanna mess something up. Seats are in good shape. Carpet is in good shape. Back of the seat, no issues. No issues. I mean, the lighting is bad, but I mean, the rear kind of, I mean, it looks like, of course, nobody's ever sat in the back before. There is a drive recorder on both. No issues there at all. Driver's side door, there's like a sheen on it. Looks kind of wet and hazy. I don't know what kind of cleaners they used. So the handle as well is sparkly, but no scratch. There is kick, came off, maybe that's more recent, but there, it feels kind of rough right here. All knobs are in good shape, clean, the insert, no troubles. Kick plate, a little scratching, but no heavy scratches. Pedals are good. The carpet's quite dirty. You can't get a good look at that. Hold on. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see the brownness right in that area. I mean, the pedal covers are cool. I like that. And there is a kick mark there. Heavy shifting, maybe. That's about it. I can lift up the carpet, but yeah, that's typical. The seat as well has the same white marks that the other seat has, but more just right here. Over here is fine, and down here as well. There's the white marks, as well as here. I don't know what would cause that, but the rest of the seat is in good shape. Let me get in the car. All right, sitting in the car, the view is nice. It's got a suede insert here with the red stitching, and the red stitching continues into the suede. I mean, I really like that. I'm not afraid to drive with gloves, or, you know, of course, keep my hands clean so that this doesn't get all oily. I mean, they're pretty easy to take care of if you do take care of it. I mean, the leather feels good. It doesn't feel factory. The knobs for 111,000 kilometers. Only this off button is kind of worn. Nismo. There's only about a 10,000 kilometer difference between the actual kilometers and the Nismo is when it's replaced. So it says 111,000, which means the car's got 121,000, I believe. It's all certified. And there is the line in the MFD here. He's going to replace the entire MFD. I don't really particularly like that they put a hole here for security, but they did. But you know, no scratching. Luckily on the dash itself, Nismo, the basic cheap knob, the brushed V-spec and V-spec up aluminum looks good. Outside of that, that's it. This looks used. I mean, there is kind of a smell in the car, but most Skylines do smell, unfortunately. Yeah, it's a pretty solid car. I mean, it's only a little dirty on the visors. Lights work. Alright, the oh crap bar works. Yeah, if you want one, let me know.